Very oogly boogly energy. Yay!
It's fun doing scary.
Yeah? Interesting. It's a new side of Shannon. What can I say?
Well, I always tell my husband, I was like, if I had time for an actual hobby that wasn't writing or artwork, it would be visiting haunted places and haunted houses. I did all that when I was in my teenage years.
What?
We had a haunted sanatorium. We had haunted houses. When I homeschooled my son for 1 year, my oldest son, I took him to haunted houses to go check out history about houses. I love that stuff. Like real life horror stuff is like interesting. I don't like to read about it though, not the fake stuff. So.
Welcome everybody to my channel. My name is Margaret Pinard. We are on the final stream of the 15-hour marathon, or we're calling it a relay, the Pass the Pen relay. So for everyone who has been on other streams and doggedly passed the baton on or passed the pen on and is writing words or reading pages, congratulations, we're at the last part. And I'm here with Esty Houston, Shannon. I think this is really Shannon's brainchild. So Shannon, introduce your channel and what you're working on for Nano.
Okay. Yeah, so I'm Shannon. I write in a pen name of Esty Houston. I have a channel under the pen name of Esty Houston where I talk about writing and publishing, my self-publishing journey, and I do lots of writing sprints. I'm also part of the AuthorTube Writing Conference with Margaret, and we have a whole team assembled this year, which is awesome, and we have applications opening in 11 days. So if you have a channel where you publish content about writing and or publishing, you are more than qualified to sign up to be a speaker, so we'd love for you to apply. And then I'm also part of the Self-Publishing Tips and Tricks podcast with Ben Pick from Running to Write and Morgan Lee. And thanks for booping the like button. That was so nice instead of throwing stuff. And then I'm also doing Secret Santa with Hananya Leckler, and that's open to anybody, AuthorTubers, Booktubers, any tuber. So if you would like to join in on fun community building and sharing videos on the same day together, we'll do it on unboxing release at the same time to bump that algorithm and get some new eyes on our channels. I also write fantasy romance. I have been working on my book, my second book in my series, which is A Curse of Wings and Gems, but I think I'm kind of at a stopping point. So I do have a whole nother novel that I thought of a few weeks ago, and I wrote the first couple chapters of. It's kind of like the origin story of a character who actually appeared in this story. So I kind of felt like I needed to get her straight to know how she played into this story. And I've already written her scene. You won't see her again in this book that I'm writing now, but she plays more strongly in the third book, and then a very big part in the rest of the series. So I want to write her origin book, and I just figured out today what the entire arc was of her story. So I think I'm going to work on that.
Breakthrough.
Oh, and I do have a title for that one. That one's called, because it's the origin story of vampires. And I did a lot of research into vampires, and the Romans called them Strix. And it was actually built, they thought there was a feast during like January, which was came from the god of Janus, which was also a god of feast. So they call it the Feast of Blood. So the name for my book, that book will be called Feast of the Blood and the Broken.
Sticking with that formula for a fantasy novel, I see. All right. I used to throw a neighborhood party called Terminalia, which was based on the February feast, which was of neighbors and borders and celebrating like good fences make good neighbors type of thing. But anyway, yeah, interesting. Roman holidays to be celebrated in the modern era. We've got lots of great people with us saying hello in the comments. So love to see it. I can't believe Andy was saying earth, fire, wind, water. Robin has been in every stream today. Yes. That's amazing. Yes, I would say it's probably easier if you're in the Eastern time zone. I don't know if they are, but yeah, because then you wouldn't be too early for the first and you wouldn't be too late for the last. Yeah. But it does stretch quite a bit. All right. Well, that's exciting. We're in the fantasy world. I am working on my new idea, historical fiction, which is an 1840s historical fantasy. And it's going to be someone in the Glasgow area who is a widow, and she's going to get superpowers, and you'll see why. This is the idea that I'm working on. So I am sort of doing a few scenes at a time. I'm a pantser, not a plotter. So I'm sort of like doing a few ahead of where I am to make sure that I have like enough to go on for whatever day's sprints the first few have been really high word counts, and I'm building a cushion because I'm pretty sure later on in the month I will have dips and like just can't do it times.
Well,
So
we got the holiday. We're also opening the applications, and we'll be hawking that everywhere.
yes, November 15th, the AWC applications open, and I
1
believe
month,
it'll be
which is
on
December 15th.
my channel to like announce that.
Yeah, I think so.
Um,
Mhm.
and yeah, then you'll have 1 month to give us your pitch, which is very exciting.
Robin says Central Time Zone, which I thought that'd be the next best one after Eastern.
Oh, okay. Nice, nice. How has the day been for you, Shannon? You've been on every stream as well.
Yeah,
Crazy.
it's getting tiring, but I get up early anyways, and I go to bed early, so I got
Barrett
like
Lurie saying,
more.
I don't know how y'all did this without naps. Yeah, I contemplated a nap earlier, but I did not. I went for a walk. A walk is sometimes as good as a nap for
Yeah,
like a refreshing. So yes, just encourage everyone who's doing nano or something similarly marathon-y to take breaks, take deep breaths, do a stretch, hydrate, make sure that like sitting in a chair is not actually doing your body harm for that long. Yes. Um, yeah. So that's what we have coming up, and that's how the day's going. Um, I will be dropping some links in the chat in a second, but Shannon, you had a mystery guest. Do you want to just like tell us a little bit about your mystery guest who was on your stream?
Jay Darkmore. I think he said he saw Adrian on my podcast, and then he got in touch with Adrian. I think that's how that started. I had already seen some shorts by him, which I really loved, and I was like, who is this guy? What is he doing? But I realized his marketing tactic, and I was really loving it. And so then he reached out to me. He was like, and he told me about the podcast and Adrian, and I was like, hey, you should come on a writing stream. He was like, okay. And so then, I started setting it up and telling him about it and everything. He says, what do we do? I was like, oh, I should maybe explain this before I throw you in.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I explained it. I said, that's okay if you want to back out after I explained it to him. He's like, no, sounds like fun. He'd never been live. I didn't say that. I meant to say that. We burst his live stream bubble. So, yeah, the first or cherry, whatever you call that. I'm probably mixing metaphors, but yeah, he'd never been live before. So even when he did come on, he came on in the middle of spread in the private chat. He was like, is this like going on YouTube? And I was like, yes, live.
Yep.
Real time.
Yeah. And sometimes, like, I am pretty careless with my use of the word sprint and stream these days because I feel like so many streams are sprints and all this
Mhm.
kind of stuff. But yeah, when you haven't done it before, there's a lot of terminology that is good to sort out at the beginning to
Yeah.
know what's what. But yeah, that was great. That was really fun. So that was the only stream that I stopped in on, but I did go into the chat for each of the other ones, even the one that started at 3 a.m. my time. So
Yes.
I'm patting myself on the back about that. I've also gotten about 2,000 words. So I'm going to try for like maybe one of the sprints during my stream to get another 500. But then honestly, just working on some other stuff that I have to get done for tomorrow because today has been all writing, all cooking. So yeah, it's been an interesting day as these relays do end up being. Um, are we ready for our first sprint? You're gonna like my timer.
Oh, sure. Let's do it.
Let's do that layout. Oh, nope, it's not big enough that way. There we go. Now we can see the cookies and the
Mm.
hot chocolate. So since this is what I'm dreaming of, and it's sort of like a great reward, we'll start with this timer, which is Shannon's. And I'll go ahead and mute myself and we'll go for 30 minutes.
I should tell you this one doesn't have a timer at the end, so you'll have to know when it's done.
That's fine.
Okay.
I'll keep an eye on my timer, so
Okay.
or my
Oh, the
clock.
ding, the ding. It doesn't have the ding is what I meant. Sorry.
No worries. All right. Well, we'll start here and get those words, everybody. Good luck. Bang on time. There we go. Did I scare anybody?
I was wondering that. I was just thinking, did she scare anyone?
Oh boy. So that was our first sprint of the last stream. There we go. How'd you do?
Yeah, so I reviewed the one chapter that I have written in the new book, and I added to it, and I added a line. I was like, oh, this is perfect. Like, okay, so I tell you, this is like a really dark fantasy, right?
Yeah.
And it's going to be a fantasy romance, but so can I read this little section?
Sure.
This will give you an idea of it. So it starts off with her death because she is going to be the origin of vampires. So then a dagger sliced into her side, a shallow cut, but it was soon followed by another and another and another. Blades created maps of broken skin.
Nice. She
I read
gonna,
that. Huh?
yeah. Is this person going to die?
Yeah, she dies.
She dies as the creation. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, so she dies, and the only god that is awake right now, and this is true even in my series I'm writing right now, it's true in the novella, which takes place 1,200 years before, and I know why it's true, but the only god that is in existence is the sun god. He put his brothers and sisters to sleep many thousands of years ago. So it's called this, when people like praise the sun god in his seven sleepers. So it says seven brothers and sisters. So he's the only god that's still awake, and she's a sun fae, so that's her god. And so when she dies, and he learned in the novella that something is still alive, that the sea witch tells him something's still alive. Well, it's his daughter that's still alive, and he doesn't know it. And his daughter's very powerful, but it's been hidden away. So he's been trying to find his daughter. Well, when this story happens, he's found his daughter, and she's still like in an embryo, basically. So she needs a protector. So, and we actually come across this like embryo in the book that I'm writing now. She's already come across it. Emmy has. So, and she's met this character, but after she's already had her origin story happen. So I had to know what was happening with her. So the sun god says, well, I'll resurrect you. You can get your revenge on those who killed you, but I need you to protect my daughter first.
You're going to have to do one of your master classes in writing multiple storylines in the same series. Because I know that was like a brain breakthrough for you when you were like, oh, this is how I'll do it. I'll do different couples, same world, same sequence, but write them all at the same time. And my brain would just explode. But I want to see how you do it. If you can articulate that outside your brain. That's so cool. So I meant to say hot cocoa, and I said so this is not a drug stream. I meant hot cocoa for anyone who did not know. So we have Sarah Walday.
Hi, Sarah.
Yay, nice to see you. It's the first time I've seen you on my channel. Just Eva says the Hex Library stream just had a convo about hot cocoa and is also using a hot cocoa timer. It's the season. I think I must make myself some hot cocoa. Yeah, signs all point to yes, Eva. Victoria Talks Writing. Hello, welcome. Emma saying it's a gorgeous timer. Yes, we're passing it along because everyone is yearning for some chocolate in a cup as they write. Emma's back to say, hey, everyone. Felicia is here. Say hi, peeps. We've got author Elle Hollingsworth. Hello.
Hey. Sorry, you did not want to hear that dark stuff.
Well, it's just someone getting knifed. I mean, that's like, in the spectrum of dark, I would say that's not that dark.
Well,
I'm reading Outlander, and that's like whipping and chains, and like that's not billed as dark.
Okay, so there's stuff that's happening to her before that, and then that knife is used on her in a way that makes her bleed internally. So yeah,
okay,
yeah, it gets darker. But I like that line that I wrote. That was like, okay, this is kind of captures all of it, I think.
Get Andy in the chat saying hello to everybody. Yay. Elmer Lass. Emma one Andy. Let's stick with that as a nickname. We've got Angela Drake. Smoosh the like button. Thank you so much, Angela. Creative blessings, everyone. I think Angela has been mostly occupied with the Heart Breathings marathon today.
Double down day.
So many writing marathons today, but appreciate you coming in. Lovely. I have Paul Mahon, 2-minute warning. He was coming in looking at the timer. And pencils down. Smoke them if you got them, ladies. I don't know. I like it. Adishale's here. Hello. Oh, I scared Felicia. Sorry. You're on the Scaredy Boo crew with me, so it's all good. And Adishale was okay this time. No jump scares. Cat's Novel Adventures, Hello Friend. Read 27 pages, 26 pages left, and finished with Salem's Lot. That's a Stephen King, right?
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
so.
Excellent. Someone is appreciating the holdover from the Halloween season. I love it.
And I think she started the day with over 100 pages to get through that she wanted to get through. So this is making good progress.
Nice. We've got Klacha. Hello. Not feeling too hot about day 4, but trying to get to my day 4 goal, which is only 1,000 words away. So I should be fine to complete that. Way to go.
Yep.
Paul says, for Nano, yes, but I've been slacking, playing catch up this weekend, though. Weekends are usually good for that. Yep. And Salem's Lot, yes, Stephen King. Okay.
I knew it was a Stephen King title, but I feel like there's other books that have been called something similar.
Probably, yeah. Yes. I can report that was I'm on my 6th sprint.
Yeah, how did you do?
Today, and I got 540 words, which takes me to across my goal of 2,500 for the day, which is great. So yes, I'm logging sprints in Notion, and then at the end of the day when I'm like, my brain is done, I'm taking the daily total and putting it into Nano. So I can get that badge. Yes.
I don't watch the news, so I'm good.
Going to
that's next, yeah.
Watch the news?
Then sorry, that's the next comment.
Next
I
comment.
skipped ahead. Yeah.
Going to finish reading Eileen tonight, so that's exciting. Very last sentence I read last night was the final plot of the book. Eileen? Do you know this book?
No, I don't.
Okay.
But the fact that it's like you're ending on the plot twist, I mean, that's like like a anticipatory moment to stop. And I'd be like, okay, I gotta get back to reading this. I gotta get back to it.
Yeah. It's parking on a hill.
Yeah, it is.
Paul says, enough dark on the news. This is stretching the creative muscles. I like it. I like it.
Yeah, I don't watch the news, so I don't like the dark bad stuff that's happening to people in real life. It makes me sad.
Yeah, I was just writing about my character in the newspaper and how she's reading the news, and there's some bad things going on in that moment in time as well. So, but I'm pretty vague about it because I don't know what she will have access to at that moment in time about that phenomenon. So I'm like, oh God, I have more research I have to do later, but I'll outline it so that I think this will be possible and like leave it there. Yeah. All right. So let's see. What else? What else have we got going on?
I'm like draining away for the day.
Yes. I was able to get away for a walk right before Shannon's stream started, and I was listening to a book that is actually really good, and it talks a lot about the experiences of the deaf-blind community. It's one of the main characters is deaf-blind. So when I came back, I was finding myself thinking in that voice, and like the translated to English voice is very abrupt and direct and like not too many prepositions or articles because of how it's translated. So I was like, why is my brain thinking like this? So I had to ease back into writing in my voice, my register again, which is kind of fun.
I have issues with prepositions. I tend to use the wrong ones. Like I like to say, instead of saying look at someone, I like to say look to someone. And like, prorating aid constantly points it out to me. It's wrong preposition. Or I leave out prepositions, especially ofs. I leave a lot of ofs off. So yeah.
That's not something that like would break the bank though, because I feel like, we were talking about parking on a hill and coming back and trying to remember what our thought was if we're in the middle of a sentence.
Yeah.
I feel like when I miss a word, sometimes I look back in a given sprint and I'll see that I missed a word. And if it's that sprint, I will remember what it was supposed to be and put it in so that the sentence makes sense. But if it's like 3 days ago, I'm like, I have no idea what I was thinking then. And now the sentence doesn't make sense. And now I'm screwed.
Yep.
I wouldn't call that editing during Nano. I'd call that like making sure it makes sense on the page before you proceed. But, different people have different definitions.
I write look to all the time.
I mean, It is sort of a, what would you say, artistic way to say things because it's an archaic form.
Hmm.
There's a song in Finian's Rainbow called "Look to the Rainbow" that I love. So it's like a, I don't know, a different dialect's way of saying that.
Maybe I shouldn't have changed all my at my twos to ats.
Don't care what software has to say about
Yeah, right.
it. Right on, right on. What's
Sleep.
everyone's plan for that extra hour tomorrow? Oh, yes, on the North American continent, or at least most of it, we're shifting. I almost forgot that. Getting an extra hour of sleep, right? Isn't that what most people will be doing?
So, if you don't change, if you go, Carrie said hello, and then the one after that, I have a question.
Oh, okay. Hi, Carrie.
So, if you don't change time, you're central right now. Does that mean you and I will be on different times then? If we fall back, that means you're an hour ahead of me after that then. Then you're going to be Eastern time zone instead of Central. I don't know if I did that right or not.
State and Central Time doesn't use daylight savings. Texas?
No, she or they are up in
Manitoba?
up.
Ontario.
Yeah, I was gonna say Ontario, but I didn't know if that was right.
Sorry. Interesting. Is it Ontario? Because Canada does, right? It must be, maybe it's a province thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. Reading, writing, sleeping. Well, my exciting plans, Paul, are I'm going out to the coast. So that means in the morning, I have to get all the remaining work done, including recording a tag video because I will be driving during the time that I usually post my Sunday video. And that's going to be about author tags, definitely a nano tag, and perhaps like a on the topic of writing from Hannah's books. So do that in the morning, pack up my stuff, drive for 3 hours out to the Oregon coast, and I have a weekend plan with friends. I'm very excited. It's like the third time in my life I've done this, so it's like I feel so adult. I don't know. Yeah.
Cool.
Yes, that and the remaining promo. So this is the tag questions, and this is the promo for the box set coming out on Tuesday. I haven't like set anything up yet, so I need to do all that. Reading, writing, sleeping. Shannon, you're gonna be sleeping. Cross fingers.
Yeah, hopefully if I can sleep through it. Yeah, but
Recover.
I will be writing at some point and reading because I need to catch up on Fourth Wing before Vanessa sprints on Monday. So
Nice. Ontario for Claudia. Saskatchewan for Robin. I've been
where's
to
that?
Saskatchewan.
That
I think it's just west.
Okay.
Yeah. I know that Arizona doesn't do the daylight
My
savings, but
brother lives
they're
there.
not in Central. They're
No, they're
either in Western
mountain.
Mountain. Yeah.
Yeah, they go between mountain and the other one, but they don't change, but
Right.
it's like 1 hour ahead of me or behind me, sorry, or 2 hours behind me. My brother lives there. So he's either 1 hour behind me or 2 hours behind me during the year.
Yeah. What was strange is that a while ago when Amrita by the book was still putting out videos on YouTube, she was like 11 and a half or 13 and a half hours. And I was like, how can you be and a half?
Yeah. I've heard that actually before though.
Yeah, there's certain places in the world that are just a half hour off from either UTC or Greenwich Mean Time or whatever we're using as the universal time. But first time I heard that, I was like, wait, what? What kind of black magic? But who knows that about the world without like running into someone from the other side of it, So that was the first time. Yes, we're reminding everybody. Thank you, Paul, for reminding everybody because I clean forgot again, even though we had to go through all this to make sure that the UK and us were on the same page for today. Oh my goodness. Yes. Hope you're doing well, Deidre. I just caught up on a bunch of videos, including Deidre's recent
Trophy Thursday or Trophy Wednesdays?
No, not that one. It was I think her most recent one.
Oh. No, these are older ones, I think. I don't think she's got Trophy Wednesdays where she put out every Wednesday she put out a bunch of tropes and I loved all those videos.
Yeah. Nice. Well, I watched Deidre's latest status update, basically. And also Kat Leo's video on the AuthorTube spreadsheet. And she was explaining what was on it and like all the different tabs and everything. And I was like, oh, I should really use this.
Well, yeah, who was it? I think it was Lindsay, right? Because she's a speaker coordinator with me. Yeah, she's a speaker coordinator. And Lindsay's like, we should use the AuthorTube spreadsheet to see who we could invite to the AuthorTube writing conference, just
Right,
to
right.
apply. So,
Yeah.
because there's well over 100 or more AuthorTubers on
Yeah.
there.
I think there's 500 something. When she made the video a
I
few
wanted to
weeks
say it
ago,
was 500, but I couldn't
500
remember.
something, yeah.
Yeah.
So, pretty awesome. And she had just celebrated the first birthday of the spreadsheet, so that's why she
Yes,
put out
I
the
do remember her talking about that.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's very cool. And if you don't know what we're talking about and you are on AuthorTube and are interested in other authors doing sprints, you look up bit.ly, L-Y, /@AuthorTube, the @ AuthorTube. That was open. So Kat was like, yes, I'll take that. I just was surprised that no one had taken it before. But because her thing is all AuthorTube, no one else had thought to grab it before. So it's a shortened link that actually works for multiple people's projects, which is perfect.
Mhm.
So you get to see who's doing regular sprints, who's doing sprints during the week, and she's updating that for everybody, which is fantabulous. So thank you to Kat Leo.
And she does most of the work. I mean, there's a few of us who have like stepped in to try to help out, but like me, I have not been in there for like a good 2 months. And then Rachel, she says she's been in a similar spot. She's not been able to help out in the last couple months either. So it's like I feel bad. So, but Kat does have a link that you can donate money, and I've done that. I've done that too. I've donated money for her help on the AuthorTube spreadsheet.
Nice. And Kat is also on TikTok, and I've been seeing her videos pop up with her daily progress for Nano. So I'm excited. Eventually we'll connect and like she'll be able to tell me how she's doing on Nano.
She
Yeah.
also streams on Twitch.
Yes. Well,
I don't really go to Twitch.
what do you think about connecting with people on multiple platforms? Is this a controversial opinion? Because like when I see the same content on multiple platforms and I've already liked it on one platform, I'm a little irked that I'm like having to like it again in a different format. So I try to follow people like primarily on one platform and interact with them on one platform so that I'm not like duplicating things and then making it harder for me to remember where I store information with that person because that would drive me crazy.
So I would look at it as, are you on all those platforms? Because I'm not on TikTok. So I don't have to worry about seeing duplicated information. So I don't have to worry about getting upset about it.
And I'm not on Twitch. So that's why I see Kat on TikTok and that's fine.
Yeah.
Like that's
Yeah.
But like some of our illustrious friends have well, and I do it in some form too, but I try to vary the content and it's more efficient to do the same content.
Yeah.
I guess it's the difference between looking out and trying to guess what your audience wants and like following your friends and trying to support them, but also being like, I need to not do the same thing again, like to use my time better. So yeah, I don't know.
I just say, if you're not on all those platforms, go for it. Yeah. Oh, I thought you were seasoned. I said,
It's
bless
not
you.
Deidre, it's multiple people. It's just like the algorithm pushes
Well,
the things that I've already seen for some reason.
The thing is I saw your short on YouTube and I saw your short
Times, yeah.
on Instagram, and I liked both of them because I'm on YouTube and I'm on Instagram. So if I'm going to those places and posting stuff, and people are going to both of those places and posting stuff, then I'm going to like all of it as well, as much as I can. I don't spend as much time on Instagram, but I also don't post as much stuff on Instagram.
Yeah, me neither. I think I get into little seasons of like, okay, we'll try to focus on this and promote it. But otherwise, it's just like other people's content pushing it out. Same with Twitter. And like notices for when I'm going live. That's basically all I do on Twitter. And then like interesting things in between. Oh yeah.
I'm trying to use Twitter more only to like the share button that's on the YouTube videos. That's what I've been using.
I know. I can tell. I can tell every time I do it because I do share to Twitter from YouTube. I erase the via YouTube because I'm like, why are they taking up my precious Twitter like character limit? No. So
I don't know enough about Twitter to
know. And you just exactly what they give you. You're like, here you go.
It's done there, shared.
So yeah, this is when I think, oh, I will make it easier for my people who are on those platforms to share if I tag them and I already have like a graphic and a link and like everything for them. So sometimes that works and sometimes it doesn't, but at least, it gives people the option.
Yeah.
Yeah. Since you are a planner ahead, when here's an interesting question for this nano novel, and then we'll jump back into another sprint. And then you can go at any time. You don't need to stay here with me. I know you're like draining through the floor.
Okay,
Um,
great. If no one else is gonna be here with you, I'll stay.
that's okay. Uh, your editing calendar. So I know you have different editors for different things, um, different projects. Do you have a time frame and like a person who you've already like sketched out for the book that you're working on now in the future?
I have 2 people on hold for this book that I'm working on right now, but I don't have a time frame to them yet. I did give both of them a roundabout time frame, and I already passed it.
Oh,
But I
oh,
kept both of them apprised,
yeah.
so they knew. So and the biggest thing is just because I didn't know it was gonna take me this long to fulfill my Kickstarter, and I feel weird moving into another novel when I'm not even done with this Kickstarter yet.
Mm,
Like, when I mean move into another novel, I don't mean writing it, but when I start the process of the editing, to me, things start going fast at that point. So it goes to the editing, and then it goes to readers, and I get it back in a couple weeks, and it goes, to the back through pro writing aid and all. It goes really, really fast. It's a couple months process. It's much faster than the months I take to write the book. Or to
drafting.
I don't take months to write it, but I take months to think about it.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. All right. So you make a space for it, but then you're like more flexible because of the experiments that you're doing now and learning how they pan out has to influence what you do in the future. That makes sense to me. Yeah. I am not promising anyone anything on anything I draft because who knows? That's my philosophy.
Well, I had planned 3 dates this year to get my novel to at least one editor that I switchy work with her, and she said she was good with all of them, and I've made one of them. So,
Mhm.
'cause I was
Yeah.
hoping to have 3 books written this year, but I just really didn't know how much time that Kickstarter was going to take.
Mhm. Okay, so Deirdre says that's why we're supposed to try to make different things on all the platforms. LOL. I didn't think of the same people seeing it. Yeah, that's a good point.
It's
Eh,
just
if it's your friends, they're not gonna like hold it against you. It's
yeah.
just I haven't thought through like how do I train the algorithm to like do something differently. I haven't put that much thought into it. So I just end up like, and that's all I have time for. And like then I'm off again. Felicia says, I post the same content on Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook because there are people that aren't on all three. That's true. That's true. So
I
what
was yeah, sorry.
go ahead.
I was I did the same thing when I was promoting, just IG, YouTube, and TikTok.
Mhm.
But now I'm not on TikTok anymore, so I mean, I'm there, but I'm not there.
Mm. There but not there.
I mean, my stuff is still there. I went to go check it the other day. I don't have any new views, so I'm like, "Eh."
Yeah. Also a good point. OnlyFans ladies, that's where the readers are. I
Mhm.
think you are wrong. I think that is tongue in cheek. Yes. All right. Let's do a different timer.
One that has sound to it.
No, no, we don't have to go to sound. I'm gonna use another one, in your list because that's where I am. We're gonna go, I don't know. Oh, those are all accountability ones. That's okay. I can go find the right spot. I just have to get through the ad first.
I would say that the accountability ones are at the top, but below them are a bunch of other ones. 25-minute, 30-minute ones, mostly 30 minutes, I think.
All right. Well, the next one I have brought up is with magic mushrooms.
Oh, RC
That
was asking for that one earlier.
is what's that?
RC was asking for that one earlier.
Oh, really? All right. Well, it's at 25 minutes. Let me go ahead and share and then
Nick.
mute myself, and off we go to the races. not going to do the break because we're on a different plan / planet. We had some people in the chat. Yay! All right, so that was a 25-minute sprint. I did not work on words. I did admin. I did some of the promotions so that I would feel better about what I'm leaving till tomorrow. So I did some Canva graphics, and then I did some scheduling on Meta, even though I don't like it, and Twitter, which is easier. And so now at least I feel like I have like the bare basics covered. How about you?
I took that as a self-care break. I realized I hadn't had any water for a while because I hadn't left my desk in a while, and I thought I should probably leave my desk. So left my desk, got some water, talked to my kiddo, talked to the husband, picked up the kitties and pet and loved all over them. Had some chocolate from Halloween and chocolate that I got in the mail that I've been chewing down on all day.
Yes, and you said you liked German chocolate, so I was like, okay, all right.
I ate this one yesterday when it came in, so it's empty already.
Who knew that Andy's made a bar, candy bar?
A bar. That's why I kept it, because I was like, it's a whole bar.
They're new, I think. I just saw them for the first time, and I was like, oh, I have to try these now.
It was good. Yummy, yummy. Chocolate and mint.
Perfect. Yeah, so essential nano snacks. What can I say? All right, so where did we leave off in the chat? I think it was right as Nick came in to say hello, happy writing, finishing up my words for the day while I wait for dinner.
What was your goal? If you don't have to share if you don't want to, but just
I don't think Nick is here anymore. But okay. Let's work our way down here. We were talking about daylight savings. I couldn't remember who it was. Someone may have corrected me by the time I get to their chat. Deidre, it was admiring your pretty timer. Yeah, the mushrooms are very pretty. Shannon gets some very cool ones. Victoria, just realized my stream was 10 minutes behind. I do that too sometimes. It like snags when you go to a different tab. I don't know what the rules are.
Yeah.
Emma stepped back in, said, the shrooms. Nicole's bookish Nook. Hello. Thanks for stopping in. Finally got off work, but I'm exhausted. Yeah, totally feel that. And yep. Hi, Buttercup or Buttercream. Kat says I've had that happen to me, Victoria. I was so confused. Yeah.
Me too.
We had Anita pop in for a bit now that she's had supper. Very good.
And she's already met her word count for the day, right?
Yeah. That's 2022.
2022, yep. Yeah.
I have hit mine, which I said, which is why I didn't feel like I could do words. But I did update the nano site. That was another admin thing that I did.
I'm trying to decide, do I update the nano site with the words I wrote in the last sprint, not this one, but the one before, because it was on a different project. So technically I'm still writing words, but it was not on the project that's on the nano site for NaNoWriMo. Yeah. So I feel like,
I mean, I think people have different systems in their head. Some are counting all the words for multiple projects. Up to you.
Yeah. And so it kind of goes, I'm also part of a cabin that was put together as part of a camp a while ago, and I'm still in it. And now they used to do like the Nano Olympics just during the camp ones. Now they're doing it during the regular Nano ones. And so I'm participating in it. And right now we are, the name of it is something the Kraken. What is it called? I'll pull it up in a second here. Hold on. Capture the Kraken. So I'm participating in that. And so we're supposed to log our word count every day by day. It's just for 8 days and see which cabin comes up with the most words all together. So I put my words in there for my Camp Nano project. But I'm like, well, I've written more words now since then, but in a different project, do I add it in there? But I was like, if I don't add it to the site, can I add it in here? So it's kind of like, I was going to ask my cabin leader what she thought. So just hadn't got there yet.
Yeah, I don't have experience with the team sports in terms of words anyway, so I can't help you there. Katja says, I just now realized that I have an 8K word chunk to fill in this rewrite that wasn't actually there in the first draft.
That's a big chunk of words.
Meaning you have the words written that are needed, or that you have a chunk that needs to be written that is that size? I'm not sure I understand.
I think I took it the second way, but it could be the other way too.
No new words for this sprint, but I'm certainly organizing this story on my fake outline sheet. What is a fake outline sheet? That's new to me.
She's going to make him be like, psych, this is not it.
Right. Yeah, Nick said, off to have my dinner. Way to go. Katja says, I've outlined a story before, but given this book is supposed to be this 3-act massive book that's 3 times the length of the longest book I've ever pantsed, I'm struggling to keep everything together. Sounds like you need to talk to Rachel Morley, who I just learned writes epic, epic, epic. Just everything like expands when she writes. Katja says, without any kind of written synopsis of sections. Okay, so I think you're calling it a fake outline just because it's a little bit of imposter system because you're like not used to writing an outline. Totally fine. Totally fine. Why I'm doing that now. Different planet. See, Eva's on my wavelength. All right, we got some words here. Felicia says 109 words written. First words of the day. Way to go. The gates are now open. And Deidre says, OMG, I forgot I was on here. That scared the bejesus out of me.
You got somebody.
I tried to count us in so that it wouldn't be as sudden that time. Yep. She's got a word for the day, which is bejesus, which is funny. Yes, Eva, Deidre. Now I want chocolate. Adeshla says there was a whole thing about jump scares from audio. Yes. We had a scaredy boo crew. Deidre says, starting to feel more like myself now that I'm finally right. Oh, good. I'm glad they're working out. So glad to hear. Yes. Kat says, I read 10 pages, ate dinner, gumbo. Wow, fancy. And now enjoying some ice cream.
What kind of ice cream?
Good combo. Yes. I just restocked my ice cream stash and I've got my regular chocolate coconut caramel and their seasonal one, which they wouldn't have for much longer. It's pumpkin spice. So
that sounds good.
Yeah.
So Kat, does that mean you've got 16 pages left then? You're almost there.
Almost there. Just Eva, I chatted my nephew by choice, not blood, and finished my dinner. Bacon, eggs, toast, and grapes.
That sounds yummy too.
Breakfast for dinner. I like it. Okay, so I didn't get to explain this in the chat in your stream, the Guyanan food.
Oh, yes.
So I think maybe this is because I'm so old, but I remember learning about British Guyana or French Guyana, but they've been sort of passed around and now they're independent. But like Guyana is not very well known on the world stage, so it's very hard to spell or like figure out how to explain
it. I looked at it. I was like, I don't know how to say that.
Guyana or Guyana, if you want to get like in the language of the place. But they had something called a chana bake, which is like semi-sweet bread and a roll, which is like fluffy bread, which is perfect. And then dal, like lentils and scallions and spices and like into a sauce. It was so good.
So it's like sweet and savory or something like that.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. And he packed pepper sauce with it. And I was like, I'll just try a little bit. I didn't try it yesterday when I sampled and chose. And so when I got the take home, I took a little bit on my tongue and I was like, no, we can't do it. So I was glad I didn't take him up on it yesterday. It would have been embarrassing.
Yeah. I think you missed that one, right? The one before.
Oh, yes, because it jumped. It moved on me. Additionally, says ice cream, gumbo, and reading. I like the sound of it. Yeah, that sounds pretty good for a Saturday night.
I didn't see that avatar up front or up close like that before. I like it. The one that she has or he has or they have. That's pretty. What is that like I don't know if it's supposed to be like a bird or wings or.
It might be a sword with like a hilt that's pointed down. I think it's like a hilt that's around the name. Yeah, okay. Very cool.
I like it.
Could be just my eyes. I don't know. Anita says, I'm writing 2 books, but only one is listed on this month's Nano. So are you counting words for both in the one? Yeah, that's the trick. How is that being accounted for?
Preview to that when you said your eyes, what you said, that's a Rorschach. I can't ever say that word. Test.
Rorschach.
Yes. That's what
maybe I don't know. Maybe it's something completely different. I
know we're seeing it our own ways. I'm seeing wings and angels because I am writing about vampire that has black feathery wings.
Yeah, we see. Yeah, I think one of my key rings says It's another a nice Nin quote, which is where I got taste life twice.
Yeah.
It says, we see things as we are, not as they are, or backwards. But yeah, same idea.
I like that.
Clutches says a chunk that has no words that need to be new words. Gotcha. So it's a gap that you need to fill. Ooh, 8K. How do you know that's an 8K gap?
Some people know it up front. I don't know how they know that.
I can't estimate like that. That's like a skill or a talent that I don't think I have.
Yeah, me neither.
Yeah, applause. Klacha also just now realized 2 years on off into writing this book, my MC has a job he's never been to in this book or even have implied to have gone to in the last 35,000 words. That's hilarious.
He's a secret agent.
Or something.
Yeah.
Jobs are boring, says Justiva. It's fine. Yeah. Carrie says, I love
He's a
breakfast
writer.
dinner. Yes. Oh, cat's got to run. Going to shower. Last 16 pages. Watch the 2004 adaptation of Salem's Lot. Oh, nice. Thanks for sprints. Relay sprints kept me on track all day.
Well, thanks for joining us, Kat. It was nice to see you all day. It's nice when we have people who are with us like the whole day. It's so nice.
Yeah, popping in from here and there. Love it. Great work today. Enjoy your evening. Sounds lovely. Guyana. I know it because I'm from the Caribbean, though. LOL, don't feel bad at all. Guyana.
I would read that as Guy, not Gee, but okay. But I know I'm not right, so most of the time.
Well, I mean, it depends on how you're spelling phonetically. Like if she did capital Guy, which to me is a guy, okay, right? Gotcha. Even though I think I don't know what language people speak there. I think it's a mix. I think there's people who speak different languages. I don't know what the official language is.
He's saying it's Guy.
Okay, yes. Us Caribbean countries love our spice. LOL. Enter all meals with caution. Definitely for me. Oh my God. But I did try. And he says, yes, I'm counting both as my 50,000. Between what's left to write and the two should add up. I like that. There you go. Finish 2 in one stroke.
If I put my 2 books together, I'm probably looking at over 200,000 words.
Well, what I wondered, the graph on Nano just goes up to 50,000. I wonder if it like tracks because I'm doing bars and I'm like, if I go past 50, is it gonna like expand so that
it does?
Okay,
yeah, because I'm
very far past. Yeah. So
I think every Nano I've won's been well past 50,000. Well, one was like 52, but the other ones were like 80,000, 90,000. So yeah. Wow. Well, I write fantasy.
For the tag, the Nano tag, it says how many times have you done Nano, and so I actually looked back and I was going through the ones that I'd won and the ones that I'd not won. And I was like, oh, 52, 54. I'm pretty like regular on pace when I do this. So
they lost all my nanos because when they combined the camp nano site with the regular nano site, that was 2 years ago. They lost all my camp stuff.
Oh, bummer. See, I had never done camp before this year, so I didn't have to wrestle with that. Bummer. And additionally says close sphere halberd with feather like sides. Halberd.
So,
that name sounds familiar.
Yeah,
I know
isn't that the sword handle? Halberd. Wait, no, or that's a type of weapon. It's a two-handed polearm that came to a prominent use from 1360s. The halberd consists of an axe blade topped with a spike.
Okay. Okay. I think that might be spear instead of sphere. Lol, it is Guy. Okay. They did the same thing to Tyann. When you say they, Justiva, you mean me, because I'm doing the pronunciation like I would a French word. I'm looking at the I as an E, which is how you pronounce it. And
I just followed her.
Yeah. Everyone's having fun with this. Yes. Yeah.
Guy and not
yeah. There you go. You got it.
Well, I did. It sounded the same to me, but I was thinking I was pronouncing it right. But
I won Camp Nano once using normal and Nano hard rules. Got 62K in the first 22 days of April, then stopped. Nice. Wow. Nice. Yeah, it is spear. A spear halberd. Well, we got the weapon idea anyway, so yeah.
Mm-hmm. And the wings, the feathers.
Yeah.
Between the two of us, we were almost there.
Your branding is spot on.
Yeah.
It's funny because my surname is often pronounced as if it's French when it was once upon a time, but it definitely is not now. Yeah, both sound the same to me too.
Mm.
Yeah. Well, so in my Booktube content, I was just talking about The Black Ghosts of Empire, which is an audiobook that I listened to that did touch a little bit on some of Guyana's history, and how it's grouped with the Caribbean because of their shared colonial past. And so that's what made me go, oh, look at this food cart. Let's try that one because I've heard about this place and know a little bit about it. And it's funny that he has like a map because no one can find Guyana because it's in South America rather than Ghana, which people think of as West Africa. And so he has like a literal map to like place people in the world, as well as a little timeline of history of like the indigenous tribes and then the colonial settlers. Settlers, is that what we call them? And then he ends with 2018 food cart established, bake on the run in Portland. And I thought
I
that's
love
pretty
that.
fun.
Yes, I love that.
It's very cute. All right. So Rachel says, don't mind me just coming in from hanging out with my bees in the garden. That's lovely.
Mhm.
You sound like Maggie.
Yes.
Just Eva says, picking up French vibes from me somehow. I don't know.
Somehow.
I don't know. You know,
I
I was
I would
go ahead.
I would say I saw it as Spanish, because I was shortening it down to Tia.
Oh, okay. Yep. Same vowel sound, yeah. I was actually thinking about this because I've been getting served up Mona Lisa smile videos for some reason on YouTube, and I was like, just Eva like gives off Maggie Gyllenhaal vibes to me. Anybody else? So that's who I've been like channeling when I think of you. Deshaley says, y'all rock, way to go. Rachel says, hope the day still goes amazingly for you all. Yeah, it is just dipping
Great.
almost towards 5 p.m. for me. So,
About an hour left,
yep, closing it out
and
strong.
it's 15 hours we'll be done.
Oh, hey, speaking of French, we're getting in all the language and some of the Caribbean history. Hello, hello. Brown Go Reading is here. Oh, thank you, settlers. I was trying to think there's a better invaders. Colonial invaders. There's another word though that I was trying to think of. Colonizers. That's the one that has the bad connotation that I wanted to use in that context. Yes. Bad colonizers. There we go. Joanne is here. Hi, everyone.
Joanne.
What are you guys working on tonight? Saying hello to everyone in the chat as she do. Love it. Teacher says that sounds so neat. I know. So the food cart is called Bake on the Run. And for anyone who is near Portland, I'd recommend it. He said they're on all these TV shows. They've been on Top Chef. They're like proper famous. And he says they're the only or the biggest, I guess, Guyanan cart outside of New York City, which is pretty big. So yeah, very exciting. It was nice. And we're saying hi to Joanne. Hi,
Hi,
Joanne.
Joanne. Hi, Joanne.
Eva is often thought of as Spanish Eva, like Eva Perón, our little Evita. So that one made sense to me too. Yeah.
I was saying Eva.
Oh, you're thinking of Wally. Eva.
Yes,
I love that movie so
me
much.
too. Me too.
Yeah, Claudia says my mom loves Mona Lisa smile. I don't know why they started serving it up to me, but I like it. I'm the very white Eva. LOL. Mona Lisa Smile, Practical Magic, two of her mom's favorite movies of all time. Nice. Nice
like
again today. Had a blast when I could make it. Yeah. We do these about once a quarter. And usually, I think we've had two that were 12 hours, and this is the first one that was 15.
Other way around.
No?
No, because we had Hananya with us last time, so we had 5, and we did 15 hours.
Did we?
I went back and I have it all in the same playlist as mine. I was re-looking at it this morning.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I was like, oh, because I thought we
Refresh
went
your
to
memory.
12 hours. I was like, and I was feeling bad because I felt like I shoehorned Richard in, and then he didn't feel well. And I was like, oh, but we did have 15 hours last time. Okay, I don't feel too bad.
Ooh.
I
Yeah.
don't know. Maybe we'll make it 12 hours next time. I don't know. We'll see.
Kiki says it's almost 1 a.m.
Oh,
here in
wow.
Normandy.
Why are you up? You're probably a night owl.
Yep. And then we've got Conquistador.
Conquistador.
That's pretty specific in time and country. So it's probably probably works as well. Andy calling it a
Hey.
day here. Yay! Thanks for
Bye.
a great Pass the Pen event. Andy, what did you end up with? We're on tenterhooks. We want to know if you're still here from 3 minutes ago. Wait, Margaret, did you say almost 5 p.m.? Yeah, it's almost 5 p.m. for me because I'm on the West Coast.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Nice to meet you. What genres do you like to read? Sleep tasty, Andy. That's a nice signature phrase. I like it. Additionally, is working on editing. We said, oh, nice. Just Eva says, it was nice out today, not as cold. We managed to get the Halloween decorations down, and I only napped once. Still sickly, hoping tomorrow it's lessened even more. So many streams today. Yeah, I hope your ear is feeling better.
Yeah.
I so like I have tomorrow I have in my schedule to do these author focused tags and pre-record it because I'll be driving to the coast. But the next Sunday I've still got like a blank space. I don't know what to talk about. And I'm like, what if I just talked about all the frustration that I have in putting out these vlogs for Nano?
Yeah, there you go.
Like, or I could talk about the ridiculousness of healthcare scheduling in America because I've got one professional office that scheduled a call with me before I can have a procedure, and they didn't get to me on the call list. I called them and said, hey, you missed your time. It's 3 hours later. Can you reschedule me? And they said, yeah, okay. They rescheduled me for 2 months later, which is what I had already waited for that phone call. So instead of putting me like on the next call list, they put me on the next like scheduling list. I was like, what is that? So I'm hoping that doesn't happen again. And the dentist I keep calling into, they're short-staffed. And for some reason, they've solved that problem by saying that they can't schedule it because they haven't released the schedule. And I'm like, how hard is this software that you're working with? Like, I've called on, I had my last filling, and then they couldn't book me there at the office. Then I called in on a Thursday. Then I called in on a Friday. Then I called in on a Tuesday. I keep doing this when they tell me to call in, and they still don't have any blocks released. And I'm like, how difficult is this to do? Like, I understand like having to schedule far out, but they won't even schedule far out. So I'm just like mystified, the whole system. Blech. Okay, Rachel, back to the subject at hand. Very much fantasy, fairy tales, retellings, cozy retellings, and shoujo? What is that? What am I missing here?
It's probably some type of Asian mythology because she likes Asian mythology, but I don't know what that would be exactly.
I know what shoju is. That's like a liquor, but that is one letter off from what I would think that would be spelled like. So I don't know. Joanne saying, nice to meet you. What work in progress are you working on tonight? Or what genre do you like to write? So we're networking in the comments. It's awesome. We're doing good. Teacher says, I'm about to send off a newsletter, then maybe relax for the rest of the night. Gasp, right? Already working from bed. So relax means just stop looking at the screen, perhaps rest the eyes. Maybe the neck. When you look at a screen for a long time, like your neck can get in a crick for sure.
So it translates to girl, magical girls.
Shoujo?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
To young girls, often magical girls like Sailor Moon.
Uh-huh. We're finding out where people live time zone wise in the chat. And Adeshley is working on an urban fantasy. Nice. Deidre says, Margaret, which of your books would you recommend to start with for someone who has never really read the genre? Which genre? Historical? If you're talking historical, I would say, and they read ebooks. If they read ebooks, I would say grab the bundle before Tuesday because it's only $10 for 3 books.
If you like short stories, I like the fable passages.
Yeah, and if you're into more like supernatural and like short story bites, then definitely fabled passages, something different entirely. But lots of historical stuff sprinkled in.
I was gonna say there's some historical.
Yeah. Okay, so then Andy says got other stuff in life to sort, but maybe writing before bed. He's not answering the numbers question.
No, he's not.
Writing and streaming is not an option with a laptop, unfortunately. Yeah, internet bandwidth issues. Yep, that's true. Good night for me. Good night, Kiki.
Excuse me.
Deidre says, Shannon, do you have a specific reading order for your books?
Well, I have the Irish mythology series, but I don't think that's everyone's cup of tea. It's really hard to market because it's not everyone's cup of tea. And then, so for when it comes to my fantasy romance, I mean, I only have the 2 things published at the moment, which is the first book and the novella. And I honestly think you could read either one in either order. It wouldn't really matter. Because if you read the novella has like Easter eggs for the whole series. So if you read the novella first, you're not going to know what those Easter eggs are until you read the first book, and then you might remember it. But then if you read the first book and then you read the prologue, then you might come across something, oh, I think I remember this from the, this is where it came from. So I don't know. I think either way is fine.
Yeah. Joanne's been watching the webinars from the writing conference she watched and also unbraiding her hair from this morning. A really long undertaking. So hope that came out well. De-stressed. Deidre says, I just have her books open in front of me and no clue where to turn.
She's probably got your books, like a lineup of your books on the screen, and she doesn't know which one to do. That's what I'm assuming that means, but I could be wrong.
Okay. Let me give you the quick rundown. And anyone else of the 18 people who are watching at this very minute will get treated to a very quick rundown of all the books that I have out right now. So going from right to left is publishing order. Memories Hostage is a historical mystery. It's very whodunit. It's 1880s. It's like there's the romance. There's a what's it called? Amnesia at the beginning. So lots of tropes, very fun, happy ending. Dulcie's Legacy is young adult supernatural. So it's a girl in high school who starts to have these weird powers and has to like grapple with what it means and how she can make things right. Time travel involved. Then we have The Keening, The Grasping Root, and Stormwrack and Spindrift. Those are all in a trilogy, and you should probably read them in the order they start. It says it on the cover, book 1, 2, and 3. Those are the ones that are getting new covers and being boxed in the box set that is coming out Tuesday. That is about 1820s, 1830s Scotland and Canada, and a family going through different generations of parents and children and hardship and struggle, trying to make their way in a new world in Nova Scotia. And then the last one is the one Shannon referred to, Fabled Passages, which is ebook only, and it is short stories about 80 pages or so. And they've all got little elements of supernatural or history or both. And that was just like my weird side coming out to play. So there you go.
I realize I actually have a copy, some type of all your books. I just realized that.
Really?
I have Memories Hostage in paperback. I have the trilogy in paperback now.
Yes.
I have Dulcie's Legacy as ebook, and I have Fabled Passages as ebook. So I didn't realize I have all your books.
You have all of my books. That is an accomplishment. Where did I leave off here? Here we go. Joanne is multitasking. Yep. America, where healthcare is a creep. Oh, she's got a music symbol, but I don't know what song that's referencing. We're not the right audience for that. Yay. Nice work. I remember you saying you had to unbraid today. Your arm's probably worn out. Yeah. Ready for company tomorrow? Shoujo manga?
Yeah, it did say manga on there.
Okay. Particular manga genre, says Kiki. Got it. Shoujo is a romance slice of life, usually with some kind of magic or yokai involvement. Oh, okay. With a sweethearted protagonist.
I thought it has some type of Asian influence, and now that I remember the yokai. She explained that to me before, but I didn't remember that.
Got it. Only shoujo anything I've seen is Oran High School Host Club, which sounds like a manga. Eva says, I suggest hot cocoa to all who can and enjoy partaking in hot cocoa. Okay. Shoujo is a type of manga, Japanese comic with an audience aiming for teen YA female, says Tone Magler. Hello.
Hey, I was gonna say, I don't know this person.
Me neither.
Yeah. Oh, welcome.
Welcome to the channel. And the marathon.
Yes, right. We're coming to the end of it, though.
That should be
Last
ready.
stretch.
Yes, historical. Cool, cool. Rachel says, I just like seeing kind characters win the day with virtue rather than punching. Always my fave.
Well,
Yes.
you
I
will
like
not
that
want
too.
to read my dark fantasy romance because she's going to win the day with killing.
Yeah. The dark side of Esty Houston. Just
Yes.
Keating is what I have to read first, Deidre. Hey, you guys could like make it a book club. That would be so cool.
Let me know, and I'll be part of it because I have the paperback now.
There you go. Oh my gosh. My dream's coming true as we speak. And then Deshley says, do you have a whip or a genre you're writing in these days? Back to Joanne. And yes, I think we can supply. It's culinary themed
Confessions.
contemporary romance.
Yeah, the one book she's got published is Culinary Confessions. I know I have that around me somewhere, but I don't know where it's at. I have it and I've read it. And she's got her second one, which is not named yet, but it's also generational because it's the kids of the romance couple in the first one.
Nice.
But I don't know if generational is used in that respect when it's romance or if that's just for historical fiction. Cuckoo Holland.
Cahulin. Yeah, that was referencing, I think, Josiva's musical reference earlier. I don't know, maybe. I'm lagging a little behind.
I mean, it fits the story of Cuckoo Holland fits, so.
And Deidre says, okay, trying to make an effort to read outside of contemporary romance and thriller to discover what else I may like. Ah, okay. Nice. Outside of contemporary romance and thriller.
And you think historical fiction might be it?
Yeah, historical fiction is good to try. Yeah. I mean, if you want to take a walk on the Booktube side of my channel, I've got lots of recommendations.
Oh, yes. She's known, hashtag the queen of books you never heard of.
Yeah. I mean, they're not easy to find necessarily, but it is a range. I do have definitely like a lot of different kinds of books. So that might be helpful. And then we've got a Stacy Coates. Hello,
Hi,
hello.
Stacey.
Just made it because I've been busy all day. We hear it. We hear you.
She's been one that's been trying dictation and getting a lot of words. Oh, bye, Anita.
Nice. Thanks. Okay. You're welcome. Deidre says, oh, they all sound so good when you pitch them, though. LOL. So I'll close my eyes and pick one.
I'm a fantasy girl through and through. So, but Dulcie's Legacy does have a fantasy element to it. And I liked it, but I preferred Fable Passages. And I've not read the other ones yet. I have them, but I haven't read them yet. So if there's a book,
they don't have fantasy in them. So
the other ones don't. So see, I read all the fantasy ones first.
Yeah, pure genre. You could go pure historical fiction and then like find someone else for like not hard, pure fantasy, whatever you want to call it. Yeah. Oh, she's singing a nationalistic, jingoistic. Yeah. A pretty song also. We're networking. Want a book club? Hey, I'm down. Will be my very first historical though, if that matters. Doesn't matter. You set the schedule, I'll get it read though.
Yeah, just let me know too. I'll be there.
If you end up not enjoying the genre, we'll discuss that part too, I think that's how it works. I failed at every book club I've tried, so we can hold hands. I like it. Stacy says, but maybe wait until after Tuesday when the new covers are released. Maybe. Depends. Deidre says, never been in a book club, so you would need to take the lead.
No one's going to take the lead, which means it's just going to get passed around and we'll talk about it, but it'll never get done.
And Joanne says, yes. Okay, so here's a more fleshed out explanation. Shannon was covering her title that is out. I was covering her genre that she talks about in the chat. And she is here to say, I currently write contemporary fiction, but my niche is sweet bakery romance with heroines following their dreams and sunshine love interests who move heaven and earth for them. That is so beautiful, Joanne.
Yes, it is beautiful. I love it.
Good pitch. Eva says, Shannon may lead us a bit with the schedule part.
Well, if we're doing that, it's going to have to be like middle of January because I'm booked until then.
Yep. Time to write more. All right. That means we're ready for a sprint. Okay, so we'll stop there with Clatch's sprint, please. And I will choose another timer in Shannon's list. Let's see. What do we have here? Let's go for another 30.
There's the
Oh,
there's
sleepy.
the trailer. This 30 set minutes. The trailer for my book is a 30-minute timer.
I already chose.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna go with Emma's favorite, which she says
Oh,
is
the kitty
just
cat.
for her because
Well,
I think
she's got one just for her that she has a link to that does not have, it's not
it's not in the
public,
toilet.
so it has no ads on it.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice, nice.
Which I was making a mermaid one for you, but I keep running out of time.
Oh, that's fine. So we're gonna do our last sprint, and our last stream is gonna be for 30 minutes, and we're gonna get treated to Sleeping Kitty. So there we go. And I'll mute myself and see you in 30. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The kitties, thank you for watching. So cute. All right. Whew. 15-hour marathon.
It's done. Let me write this down.
Yeah. Log your words, save your documents. There's a lot of chat to go through, so I'll just do that while you're marking your progress. Eva saying mark your calendars. We had some networking going on about the book club, which is so cool.
Oh,
They are talking about reading The Keening in January, so that would be
that'd be right. That'd be perfect for me.
yeah. Yep. Adeshule left. Bye. Stacy left the kitty and the timer. Deidre said I may be running. Oh, didn't catch my click. Newsletter has been sent and I need to go take my meds. Have a great rest of the stream. Thank you, Deidre.
Bye.
Ooh. Oh, shiz. You guys are still going.
Bye.
Says I went and had dinner. Good job. Nia dropping in for the last little bit. And people saying good night.
Right.
Yes. Good night. Clutches says, writing a book that takes place in the mid-90s, extremely difficult when you weren't alive until 2003. Ho. What's the expression people use? You poor sweet child or something like that? I had to Google, were floppy disks used in the 90s to confirm? Hi,
Yes,
I'm from the 90s. You were both alive then.
Be your Google.
There you go.
I was in the military actually in 1999 through 2000, and I would say roughly 4. We still use floppy disks for everything. Yeah. I was an admin in the military.
Yeah, I was a teenager a month ago. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I think you know how people have whether they see things or hear things in their head, like different ways of processing. I feel like one of my things that might be different from other people is that I find it hard to remember what I was like before. Like I've changed throughout my life. I know this from journal reading, but like I know I had floppy disks. I don't ever remember using them, like I'm just gone.
I am like that with anything that happened before the hurricane. Because I went through Hurricane Andrew when I was 12 years old. And I know I had a life before then, and I have flashes of my life. I know that it was really terrible. But I don't really, people like my brothers would say, yeah, we did this. I'm like, I don't even remember doing that.
No, you do. Yeah. So Jasiva says, I was 9 to 19 in the 90s, small city living. If you have anything I can help with, just ask. Yeah. I think the last floppy would have been from 2002, but we were poor. Dial-up was still what we had then too. It says poetry on it. I have no way to read it. Oh my gosh. That's asking to have a poem written about it, like an inaccessible poem from the past. Isn't that cool?
I have a book on a floppy disk, and I don't know how I would ever get it.
Yeah. I'm sure there's a computer museum somewhere that would have that as a service. Fairly sure I have all the poems, though. I also printed everything out back then.
I think I did everything by hand and then put it on the floppy disk, so I probably have it by hand somewhere because I've kept everything.
Wow. You guys are, I don't know, systematic. I'm not that systematic. Earth, fire, wind, water. I have a few floppy disks in a memory box. Can only imagine what's on them, right? And it must have been so little. It's like just text documents because it took out so much space, right? It says we had computer labs in junior high and high school, but only visited once a week. If we saved things, they stayed at the school. Couldn't bring outside floppies in. Huh? We hand wrote things most of the time. Still do. This is why I think sometimes if I had the patience to train it, getting something like a Remarkable that Sam has talked about and like other people have reviewed would be baller, because like I handwrite, and then it would save it and like translate it into print, so I didn't have to transfer. I will be talking about that on my Sunday tag video tomorrow. Yeah. Cool. Google wasn't around. Nope. Online research wasn't a thing. Most people didn't have computers.
That's when you learn how to use a library and those big, what do they call them? Oh, I can see it, but the keeps trying to tip my tongue. You know, the big machines, and it would bring up the
Microfiche.
newspapers. Microfiche, yes. That's how I did my research, was through microfiche.
Yeah, I remember things like EBSCOhost and Ask Jeeves. Like, oh my God, remember those?
EBSCOhost is still around.
Yeah, it's still a database still around, but like different.
But back then it was different. Yep.
Yeah, rough drafts could be pencil, but final copies had to be ink.
Ink. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. This isn't in the school. I'm just saying his teacher wanted the essays printed so people were typing what they'd handwritten at the library. Oh, the character is a he, and his teacher wanted the essays printed so people were typing what they'd handwritten at the library. This is super rich school in the 90s. Oh, okay. So did they have floppy disks is the question.
Yeah, they would have.
School.
Because we were using them in 1999 when I was in the military. It wasn't like a new thing. I came in, the system was already in place.
Oh, look, Carolyn. Hello, hello. My writing energy feels strained right now, so hopefully being here will help me get a few more words in. She came in about 15 minutes ago, so
we've done 15 hours today.
Yeah. Robin says, my kids think it's wild that I'm older than Google and didn't have internet as a kid, right?
Yeah.
Took typing in high school.
But that's not why I can type fast, because I don't type fast. I took typing in high school, and I took a lot of the classes. I can't get any faster. I'm just not able to go faster.
We had a typing class in like 6th grade, and it was like a little cat that would like reward you, kind of like a video game, but like an Oregon Trail level video game, computer game. It was fun.
Yeah, we couldn't look at the keys either. Yeah.
Did they put a manila file folder over the keyboard so that you couldn't see while you had to test?
And I could still type without having to look at anything to this day. So I just don't type fast.
I look down periodically. So I guess I'm not fully trained.
When was Google born? Was it 99?
2000 something? I don't know. That sounds like something to Google.
Let's Google.
Carolyn took typing in high school too. Didn't want to, but my dad made me.
1998.
For it now. Oh, 98.
Yep. It's 25 years old.
Wow. Okay. Yes. Eva is giving some encouragement to get that word mojo going, or I could just look at the pictures of cute cats. You must resist the cats for at least one paragraph and go. Or don't, but whatever. Closing up here, I wanted to take typing, all courses related to office work. My main goal was not to work in a factory.
Oh, our typing class wasn't, it was mandatory. Everyone had to take it.
Yeah, so did we. I think that may have been like the few years later that we are from just Eva. Anita has returned. The other stream had a tech snafu, which I'm sorry to hear because that's super frustrating for them, but glad to be back. Oh. Yep, and there's Eva's reminder, log your words.
Which
passed 10K, very exciting.
Me too. Did you want my word count, by the way?
Sure. Did you get words in the last sprint?
I did. I wrote the second chapter of my next book. Or not my next book. I wrote the next chapter in the dark fantasy novel.
Got it.
Nice. I got 482 words,
Woohoo.
Which brings me to 5,025 for the day.
Wow.
And 10,800 for Nano.
Nice.
Yeah. So you said you got 10,000 for Nano too?
Yeah, I'm 10,000 something. I didn't check, but I've been 4 days at 2,500, over 2,500. So this is like the most I've ever done for the longest. Robin says nearly 3,000 words for the day.
Oh, that's awesome.
Since I took a full writing day. Feel proud. That's awesome.
Save your word. Well, actually, on the outro. Stick around and watch the outro. I love my outro. Sorry.
Nice. Okay. Save your work. Pat yourself on the back. Exhale. That's important too. Exhale. Thanks for all the sprints. Thank you, Sarah. Helped you lots. Awesome to hear. Karen says, I tried to write a book that takes place in the 90s, and I was a teenager in the 90s, but still couldn't do it. Too hard to go back and remember. Okay, so that's similar to me. Like, sometimes I'll remember things, but it's hard for me to like go back into that mindset. I guess I see it through a filter now. Emma's here, feeling so old. Well, maybe that's because it's so late where you are. You're tired.
I think I'm older than both of y'all, though. So
I don't think so.
No, Emma's older.
92. I was born in April 81.
I was born in 80.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, I know I was older than you, but Emma's the one I'm not sure about.
Oh, okay. Well, we're not gonna out her in the chat at this
No.
very inopportune moment. Stacy dictated 1,023 words. That means I have written 1,760 words this evening. Didn't get to start writing till an hour and a half ago, in which I was eating during the first hour and bathing a kid. Well done, Stacy.
Nice.
Wow. And leave the editing to later as much as you can. Carolyn says, I do have a friend who sent me her book that takes place in the 90s. I mean, this is interesting. Do you think it would be strange to read a book written in the 90s about the 90s contemporaneously and then compare it to one that is written now, 25 years later, and see if like there's some I guess you can't compare any author to each other, so each book is different, but I wonder if there's like a general difference in quality, tone, kind of something treatment.
Hmm.
Carolyn used floppy disk on my Tandy computer. What is a Tandy computer?
It sounds familiar, but I can't recall that.
Maybe that's one of the ones that was like blue screen before people had laptops. My sister had like a typing thing that had like a very simple Tandy. I don't know.
I feel like I know it, but I can't recall it.
That was my Brad Pitt move from Thelma and Louise.
First
Carolyn,
line of IBM PC compatible home computer systems produced by the Tandy Corporation. So yeah.
Okay.
Tandy 1000.
Oh my gosh. Carolyn played a floppy disk in the school play in kindergarten. That is adorable.
Wow.
That's really cute. Aw. That'd be a great costume for Halloween too. That seems pretty easy.
Yeah.
RC Scott is back. Hello, hello. Anita used floppy disk rewritable.
I have all of those.
Flash drives. Yeah.
My flash drives, I cannot pull anything off of. Like it's like after they get to a certain point, you can't use them. You can't pull out information. At least I couldn't.
Super frustrating.
Yeah.
Carolyn, LOL. That's fun to imagine. Yeah, it makes me think of Scout from To Kill a Mockingbird in her ham costume. It was a sandwich board style costume that I put over my fancy dress. See, that is adorable. Love that. Yeah. Stacy found a few floppy disks yesterday when I was cleaning. Oh my gosh. The health of my hands cannot handwrite, or I'd love one of those digital pens. I love to handwrite. I only journal that way now. Yeah, I journal handwriting. Yeah, when I said I was doing wrist exercises earlier, I think when Emma was streaming, it's because I was doing all the typing, and I've been getting like a weird, wrist pain. But then I was having to like chop a bunch of vegetables for the food that I'm bringing on the trip, and I was like, this is a wrist thing too. So I wasn't taking much of a break. We have someone whose scrawlings are dreadful, says RC. So yeah. Net zero. What was net zero?
That was a dial-up modem, dial-up internet. That's what I remember.
AOL Online? America Online? Sorry, I just did that thing I hate when people duplicate things. I miss Ask
Broadband internet, yeah.
Net zero. That's so familiar. But again, like I can't place it because it's been too long. It's been deleted. It's been washed away. Didn't have access to Ask Jeeves. I've also not yet used a flash drive to save. I upload to save. Email and Notion. Huh.
I think that's better.
Super rich school, they would have had computers. I was not rich. I had a home computer at home in the mid-90s, and we used 3.5-inch, I think, floppy disks.
We had a computer at home, but my dad worked. He was a computer programmer, so we weren't allowed to be on the computer.
My dad had an Apple IIe early on, but we just, what did we use it for? We used it for a video game that was like Space Invaders kind of thing. A while back, found a summary of a space vampire dystopia story I'd handwritten. I didn't remember it, and having reread how full of edge it was, I'm like, what the fuck was wrong with me? That sounds amazing. That sounds like it could possibly be the base for what was it we said? Elves as space cowboys.
Right, on a planet full of robots.
Cyborg werewolves.
Werewolves, yeah.
I love it. Dino Park Tycoon. I don't know what that is about either. I love all the tycoons. What's that about? I don't know. Oh, this is talking about Google,
Oh.
1998. But Yahoo is fine. Bit behind in the chat. Sorry, I'm still trying to connect it to where we were. Oh yeah, I loved Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego. That's so true. Clutcha, I never had a typing class, which makes no sense considering so many jobs for Gen Z will be with typing, but I still learned to type around 70 to 90 words per minute without looking by myself, just from experience. Well done.
I would say that with as much typing as Gen Z is going to have to do, even just for their school, their day-to-day school, that they may not need a class because they're doing it so much. But I
Right.
don't know. I don't know if that would be right or not. So we were learning it because it was kind of like the only thing to do. And if you were like going into admin or whatever, there was always a typewriter. So when I learned to type, it was on a typewriter. It wasn't even a computer. So
Yeah. Oh, flashbacks to young Sarah days. Yeah. I only type with 2 to 4 fingers.
oh,
That's the Gen Z way. Yeah.
yeah.
Kind of like my mom opines about using the Palmer method for handwriting, which is like
Mm.
mid-century, 20th century. You always can tell people use that method because it looks exactly the same. Yeah, the typing is going to be different. Yep, nice job,
Yeah.
Shanna. Nice.
Yeah.
Had Where in Time is Carmen Sandiego.
I know that one.
Oh, Where in the World, Where in Time. Oh, okay, that's a different
Yeah.
one.
It
Version.
is a different one. Yeah.
I type with all my fingers, and if motivated, I could type fast enough to close caption most streams. Some speak a bit fast. LOL. Wow.
I don't type that
Well
fast.
done. Yay. Emma's telling us pat on the back. I find it so stupid that the generation that will go on to be working on computers more than any generation before didn't have typing class in school.
Yeah, especially if you only learn like 2 or 4 fingers, it really should be a class then.
Go to sleep, Emma.
This is late for her. Well, it's late for anybody, but maybe not for her because she
I
says she's
got words. Yay.
Yay.
Carolyn says, my husband is a teacher. He discovered the kids don't know how to use a mouse.
It's all touchscreen.
This
Yeah, it's all touchscreen. Yeah, I remember the first time I sat my son down in front of my computer, he touched the screen first to try and figure out how to get it to work.
Yeah.
Because he's used to everything that he has is a touchscreen.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen those cartoons that are like babies trying to, like make books bigger.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of heartbreaking. I don't know. It's just seeing the world in a different way.
Yeah.
So they all
Yeah.
do pads. Yeah.
Oh, the touchpads. Yeah.
Have you seen the cartoon between the book and the e-reader though?
Hmm.
The e-reader, the new thing, is holding a match out to the book and saying, with one match, I can destroy you. And he's like threatening him, poking him. And the book reaches out and goes click on top of the e-reader and it goes turns him off. It's an oldie but a goodie. Yeah, kindergartners with Chromebooks. That's crazy to me. Oh, Carolyn's year younger. October 2003.
2 years younger than me.
To youngins.
Because my birthday's in January too, so I'm a whole year of 80 basically.
Thanks to all of you who put this relay together. It was great.
Thank you for being here, Robin.
Yeah, so nice to meet you. Remember 1980, my birthday is next.
I was gonna say, I thought Eva said she was an 80 baby at one time. I was like, I don't think I'm the only 80s. I thought it was Eva too.
Oh, okay. I thought
Next
she was
week.
another year older, but gotcha. Clutcha. Stacy, Shannon, we're the same age. Also born in 80.
There's 3 of us.
Yeah.
Yay.
90s now and then. Oh man, we're behind. I'm behind. November 17th. Tandy's an old style computer. Had a green black screen. Okay, that's like the Apple IIe. It's the one we had before PC Mac took over everything. Gotcha. Keyboard computer that hooked up to your TV. Interesting.
I've had one of those
like that.
It wasn't a Tandy, but I've had one where it was a keyboard and I got internet through my TV.
Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting. All these different competing systems that were vanquished by, I don't know, a monopoly?
Yeah.
Shared a family computer. As a teen, my brother and I used to pool our allowance to buy Sims expansions to share. That's so cute.
Yeah.
Yeah. Games. Tycoon.
Tycoon games.
Yeah.
They were a game maker.
Like Monopoly?
Tycoon. They made different
Sounds
games,
like Monopoly.
different computer games.
Okay.
Let's see if I can find
I
some.
watched several playthroughs of Roller Coaster Tycoon 3.
Yeah. Prison, Jurassic World Evolution, Mega Aquarium, Planet.
Oh, I remember Mavis Beacon. We totally had her. Took a typing class on a typewriter in the fall. Took a computer class which used Mavis Beacon. Yeah, that's
Doesn't
right.
sound familiar to me.
My mom, I think, got it, and I don't think any of us
Yeah.
used it.
It was a prairie or something. It was like moving out west. That was the game we had to practice our computer skills on. It was called something.
Not
If I said it, you probably Oregon Trail. Yes.
Yeah, that's pretty famous. I showed my kindergartner that the arrows can work over the mouse touchpad when it was giving him issues. He'll have those Gen X tips and tricks. Nice. Stacy's birthday is in March. Soon to be stepmother is today.
Oh, happy birthday.
Gosh. Younger. Well, that's an interesting situation.
Yes, it is.
Oh, that's wild. What a thing to leave us with at the end. We will look forward to getting to know you more in the coming streams, Stacy. This has been great. Spending all my money on The Sims 4. Nice. $500. Wow. Dude, same. Oh, boy. Yes. Gotcha. All right. So I don't live close enough to my brother to share. Sims. Good times. Good times. Yeah. Yeah. Age gap changes. All right. So I'm going to remember to do this. Thanks, everybody, for joining. It was lovely to see everyone in their streams, and I hope you all subscribe to all of our lovely creators today. And for Nano, keep up with us in future sprints when we offer them, and we'll love to have you. So, Shannon, you want to do an outro? You're like, I'm tired.
Yes, I've done so many of them today and intros. So I'm Shannon. I write under the pen name of SC Houston. I have a YouTube channel under the pen name of SC Houston. Do lots of writing sprints there. I'd love to see you.
You were going to share something about save your work during the outro?
No, it's in the outro video.
In the outro. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, without further ado, the outro.
Ha 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 ha.